Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place for tips, tools, everything you need to take the hassle out of your hustle and build a profitable business that's fun to run. Today is Tuesday. The digital diva is in the house. That means we're going to learn some social media and digital marketing strategies, learn some stuff that's going to help propel us into the future. So get back, sit back, relax, put your chair in its upright position, get your pen, get your paper. Let's go. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful week of marketing strategy. And I'm getting my stuff and here we go, looking for stuff and getting set up. So yeah, welcome to, you know, we do this all every day, all day, right? We do
Yeah,
this every week. We do
every
this every
week.
week.
Every week we are here.
Why? And I have to say, Bizchicks ahead of the time because now we're in a position, especially with marketing and all of the changes, AI, it's like a daily thing. Like every day there's something new with marketing because of AI. So now, we're here once a week. I didn't put up anything this morning. I try to put stuff on my Instagram story. So follow me on Instagram if you want the scoop. I've been trying to put them on LinkedIn. It's just I'm just trying to, with LinkedIn, they have to be a certain format. So I was like trying to get the format right. And once I get that right, I'll probably do it over on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So things are changing, and you know that they're changing. Some people are afraid, and I feel like we're here talking about it because I don't want you to be afraid. Like there was the whole, when we first started talking in January was AI is going to take people's jobs, and we talked about that, and we were saying that it's going to help you if you're a small business owner, a solopreneur. It's just you and you running your business online. The cavalry is here, and
Yeah.
that cavalry is GPT-4, learning language model, generative AI, all of those things. That is the greatest change for us. Now for other industries, I don't know what to say. It's just things change. But for the small business owner who was trying to do it themselves because you didn't have the budget, or you have the budget, didn't have the time, but you still need to know overall what's going on, this is the time for us. This is the time. I want to say that things are fractured, but fractured in a good way, and advantages for us. But we have to learn now, and we have to take control of the horse. That's the only way I can explain it. That the horse is, horse and buggy, and the horse is getting away, and you're trying to get the rein. Once you get the reins, everything is good. So that's what we're doing. We're gathering the reins, and there's news every day. I so much AI news I can't keep up with it. I'm trying. But the thing is like, okay, we're gonna keep up with the news, but we gotta integrate it. So that's what we do here on Tuesdays. I'm showing you, how do you integrate this? How do we use it? I know people are out there doing crazy stuff with AI, and that's gonna happen. They did it with social media. They did it with the internet before that. Remember the time on the internet where people were afraid to put their credit card numbers in?
Those days are gone.
I remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
The internet is the devil. The internet is this, and the internet is that. Fast forward 20 something, 30 something years, where are we now? When the internet goes down, when your router goes down, or the service goes down, what do you do? I don't know what to do. So we're getting there. So it's going to be. I've said this before. AI is going to be in every single part of our world. Every single part. So you got to get used to it now. Now, there's going to be people that will use it and create things. Those are the prompt engineers, the coders, and stuff like that. But there'll be us, the regular consumer. You will be using it. Trust me, you will be using it. You may not have to know how it works all the way 100%, but just a little bit. Okay, so what we're talking about today is I call this, what did I call the hook your messaging?
Master the hook of messaging.
Master the hook of messaging. Okay, so we have to master this we have to get a little bit specific now because AI is here. It's available to everyone. There's free tools, there's paid tools, but it's available to everyone. It's going to be everywhere. So you as a business owner have to know, how do I integrate this into my process of doing my business? And right now we're at the content stage, creating content. There's going to be other things, but right now we're talking about the content. So
Right.
as this tool is everywhere, that that means, here's the downside, it's going to be harder to stand out. I'm sorry
Yeah.
to say, gotta face it.
It's going to be interesting to stand out. It's going to be real interesting trying to
Yes, it's
stand
going to
out
be
right now.
really interesting, and I understand your concerns because I share them. But I do research and I read and I listen to this and that and that, and I put stuff together, and I'm like, okay, we have to stand out. But that, I saw this coming the whole time. I said, we can't do generic content. When we first started with social media, it was, here's my lunch, here's my this, and you got like a million likes. Now the complaint is, especially on Instagram, is nobody's watching my reels. Reels engagement are down, views are down, because you got hooked on a metric that was false. That was false. And I said that when Instagram first put out reels, I said, I gotta go back and find out. They're pushing reels because they want you to use it, but they're going to fall back. Why? Because they can't keep that level of speed up. Two, they need ad revenue. So what are they doing now with reels? Sticking ads in there.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing with reels? Lowering your views.
Yep.
And here's the thing that I'm like, it frustrates me so much. I see people trying to chase. Isn't a saying called chase the dragon or trace the something? Something you're trying to chase that's elusive. Chase the clouds or grab a cloud or something. You can't grab a cloud, but you're always trying to chase it. So the people that look at views are unhappy now because the views are lowered. Instagram can do that. I read a story today about I think on Twitter that they were boosting famous people, like I think it was LeBron James and a couple other names, Taylor Swift, and so look, they can adjust the algorithm to whatever they want. So why would you make yourself a slave to those numbers? And I've told you that the end result for a business is revenue. It's not likes. I don't, man, how many times I've said that? Likes,
It,
you can't
it's
take
been,
those to the bank.
yeah, it's been years, TJ. It's been years.
But people are still out there with likes, likes, likes. Now, here's where likes and numbers matter. If you're getting a sponsorship or a brand deal from a brand, that's where it matters. But if you're trying to run a business, it's just an indicator of, is that content working or not for your target audience? That's all it is. It's an indicator.
Right.
And if you get a lot of likes on one thing and not a lot of likes on the other, that's your indicator when you look at your analytics that piece of that piece of content that got the most engagement with your audience, do more of that. That's all it means. That's all it means. It's a gauge. It's a gauge. You got a gas gauge, right? Fuel. What happens when it's on E or getting close to E? It's your
Right.
indicator that you must go to the gas station. Now, if you got an electric car, I don't have an electric car, so I don't know. Does it have it has a gauge saying when to charge?
Oh, yeah, it does. Because you
So,
don't want to be out to charge.
right. So that's your what? Indicator
Indicator.
that you have to take action in order to keep the car going. So
Yep.
that's what likes are. Likes are indicators that this is the road you want to go on with your content. It's
People just
not.
because they
Whew,
resonated with something that you said when you have a lot of likes on that. So do more of that.
yes, do more of that. Hook. That's your hook into messaging. All of this is messaging. That means that one content hit the bullseye, the target with messaging with the audience. The other one fell short or didn't even hit the target. That's an indicator that you must what? Adjust.
Yes.
That's all it is for us. For influencers, that's a okay. They can use it too to say that this content is good and this one is not, and grow their followers and take that to a and get a brand deal. That's what that is. But we've been saying that too. So, what is all this about? So, with AI, the opportunity for us is here to grab all of the okay. We're not looking at likes, but we want some money. So that means that we need to hook them with messaging. That means we need to hit the target. We need to say the right thing. Before AI, that was difficult.
It was,
I mean, you could do it. Yes, yes, you could do it. There were some genius people out there that
but
were hitting the
it
gun.
was difficult, especially if you did not have a good command on how to put together a story or
Right, the
put
knowledge.
together a message. It's
Yes,
very difficult to write a compelling and engaging
yes.
message.
There are some people that can do it. They have, but those
Yes,
are the people that have a talent for it. And I follow
right,
one
right.
lady. I've been following her. Ooh, I can't even think how long that she started out selling MailChimp courses, and now she's in the millions doing. But she always knew how to write the message.
Right.
She knew how to write the correct message. And here's another thing on my Facebook. I'm a lady that I follow. She does quizzes. I gotta get into her course because quizzes that's gonna be one of the things that you can do to get the we got to get attention. She's put up a post yesterday. What did she say? Something about people thinking AI. They plug and play. Use the AI and they're gonna get money gonna fall from the sky. And she was like, no, it's still your messaging. If your messaging is off, even with AI, you're not going to get any results
Mhm.
because here's the deal: AI is what you put in, what you get out kind of tool, and you can't get bad with it. You have to ask it the correct way. And I'm gonna tell you, just from working around with Bing and Bard, Chat GPT, you have to ask it in different ways. You have to ask each one differently. And it's a language. That's why I call it learning language model. It's a language. So when you
It's,
go to Rome, what do you have to do?
learn some Italian.
You have to learn some Italian. You
So
don't have to be
it's,
fluent, but you got to
but
learn
you
it.
need to know how to speak. It's the same way when we were asking the voice assistants.
Yes,
You have to
there's a
ask them
hook.
a specific way to ask for
Yes,
something, or you're
you have
not
to
going to
use
get
the
the
hook.
answer.
The hook with A is her name.
Right.
With G is you say okay G.
Right. But the language you had to write, you couldn't just say, um, there's a timing, there was a flow. Like with
Right,
S, you have to say, when you're like, what's the weather? You have to say it in a certain manner and a
right,
certain cadence, or you're
right.
not going to get the answer. You got to wait for the little bell, and then, or the
Yes,
little, there's stuff
yes. All the little indicators. Right.
which is the language that you're talking about. You need to understand the dialect of each of the devices.
That's it. Thank you. The dialect. That's the word, and that applies here with AI. You must learn the dialect. So with the Spanish language, there's different countries that speak differently, but it's Spanish, but they speak. They have different dialects.
Mhm.
And if you go and say one word, oh, I say this over here, and when I go over to say Portugal and I say it over there, they're like, what are you talking about? But it's all, they speak a similar language, but
Right.
there's a dialect thing. So that's what it is with AI. There's a dialect thing. And there are like 20 ways you can ask one of the AI platforms. You could come at it different ways and get different answers, but you have to know what to say.
Right. This is
So that learning that part, I'm gonna tell you, it sounds difficult, but it's easy once you get into flow of it. Oh, when I go to Bing, I have to say this. When I go to Chat GPT, I just that. And then when I use Bard and whatever else AI is coming out, there's so many things coming out. So the thing is, you get confused about it because one, then this is what I find with people. They want to try to understand how they want, like, you take your car to mechanic. I used to take my car to mechanic here, just fix it. I don't want to know what the this and that. Some people want to know and look over the mechanic's shoulder. I'm like, why? You're paying the mechanic for their knowledge, for their expertise. I'm gonna sit back and let you do it because one, I don't care. I don't care about the manifold exhaust, but I don't care. Just fix it. I don't care. But there's some people that, well, I gotta know the inner working. I gotta know what's inside of the egg before I cook it and make an omelet. I'm like, I don't need to know. Crack it and there's the egg and cook it, or you get somebody to do it. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people that they are they're limiting themselves or holding themselves back because they don't understand the inner workings of AI. And I'm saying you don't have to know how it works. You just have to know how to use it. It's a screwdriver. I want to build a house. I want to fix my door. I want to something squeaking. I need to get the. I just want to know that the screwdriver does it versus whatever else tool. I don't really care. I want it fixed. I want this thing fixed. So with AI and with content, you got to know your messaging. You got to know when I go to it, I want to know a certain thing. I got to know how to ask it. So that's the part where you have to, do some work and some training. But you don't have to do that all the time. Once you build a house, you don't build it every day when you want to go in it. You just open the door, right? So I think a lot of people get tripped up with wanting to know what's in the back room. And I'm like, you don't need to know that. Just use it. Use it. So you got to jump into the pool. All right. So that's a little bit about it, because I feel like that's what I feel like is going on with people who they're afraid of it because they're trying to understand what's behind the curtain.
Oh, you mean like the TV set? You want to know all of the little workings and how does the picture come up, and you just use
I don't care what's inside that TV. I just want, when I turn the power button, I want it to come on. And I want to watch Station 19 or whatever show you want to watch, or Netflix. I don't really care, but there are some people that do. And I'm saying to them, you're tripping yourself up because you're trying to understand how it works when you don't need to know that. Just go with the flow.
Right. And you just, okay, the bread is baking. You don't need to know how to bake it. Mark is funny. Mark says, I would like to take a moment to go on record that, contrary to popular belief, my intelligence is not artificial.
And see, I'm glad. See, Mark always comes in with the right comment. So see, this is the thing. There's the artificial part of it, yes, but we will all. It will always need us, because there's a creative part to this. The creative part is this.
It needs you.
The human brain.
So what I hear you saying, it needs us to make the thing work. It's not going to work without us. We have to initiate it. We have to give it a prompt. And then we have to, what is the word I want to say? When you have to not scrub the prompt, but the answer, you have to make the answer correct. And I'm trying, there's a word.
See, this is the thing. You have to have the desire first. It has no desire. It has no emotion. Those things aren't happening yet. Those things aren't happening yet.
It's just sitting there on your computer until you put something in there.
Right. It's just like we brought up the voice devices. They sit there. They don't do a thing until you give it a command. Correct. Where did the command come from? The human, us. Here, I want something. Speak it, and it shall come from that device.
Right.
Same thing with this. It needs us. It's just sitting there. Ones and zeros, people. Ones and zeros. It's sitting there waiting for you to give it a command, and it wants a command. It wants to please you. It wants to give you the answer. Now, it's not 100% correct, because there's something called hallucination, where because of it wants to complete the task, it wants to please us, that it makes up stuff because it must complete the task. So if it doesn't have the answer, it makes up something. They call that hallucination. Now, they have to fix that, and I think they will.
Right.
But here's the deal. The generative AI, all this stuff, this is not, don't rely on it 100%. We said that. I've done it for, for stuff, for different things, for content. And I'm like, it has spit stuff out. I'm like, that is not right.
Correct.
Why? Because I already know it in here. but it makes up stuff because it has to complete the task. Now sometimes it gives you, different, and that's where you get, it's like a recipe when you put, if you've got, um what is it, baking soap, baking powder, if it's expired, or here it is, yeast, if it's expired, your bread's not going to rise, or this is not going to rise, and you're going, well, I put yeast in it, but yeast is a living thing, so if it's expired, if it's old, it's not going to do the job that it needs to do.
Right.
So that's a part of it also. All right, so let's get into the messaging part, because I, always get caught up in the AI thing, because it's like every week there's something out
Oh my
new that
God.
makes me go, wow. All right, so we need to talk about this, because it's, the hook the messaging is, because if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one,
True.
right?
That
So
is
you have
true.
to be specific. You have to personalize, and not in the sense of when you're writing an email, hey, fill in first name. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about creating content specifically for a segment of your audience.
Right.
That was hard before because it took time. We had to know the effort. Now we've got AI to ask, and it will do those things. I've done it. I've asked for demographics. It's given it to me. I've asked it to make it personas. It's done that for me. I wasn't really happy with it, but it did it. But see, that's the fact that I can start there. And
So
Mark says, go ahead.
Mark says AI is in many cases or many respects essentially real-time Wikipedia. Lots of
Mm-hmm.
viable information, not always correct.
True. True. And a lot of people, especially kids and students, I mean, I don't blame them. Why should I read War and Peace or whatever when I can go to write me the summary and write an outline and write the thesis for, and it does it.
Right.
It does. So the education section, they have really got to be above and ahead of this thing. But that's for them to figure out. But for us, it's going to help us speak to one person,
That's
and
good.
it does it.
That's really good because which goes back to something you talked to us about before, which is identifying who that one person is that you are
Yes.
talking to.
Yes. Yes. And if you couldn't, if it was difficult, or if you didn't have the time, or send out surveys, talk to this, talk to that, now you have uh generative AI, learning language model, whatever thing whatever, there's tons. Use whatever you like. It will give you the answer. Now, it's not 100% correct, but see, that's where the human comes in. You got the knowledge, you're going to say, hey, that's not right. I like what you said. Let me take a piece of that. And I think, Fran, you said that before about the puzzles, like getting pieces of stuff, and it makes you can make content faster and easier, but you still got
Right.
to check on it.
Because I was looking for a title for something. And so I asked, and in this case, I used Chat GPT. I said,
Hmm.
give me title ideas for a new business or something. And I had to put in there what the
Yeah.
business was and all of that.
Right.
And
You
it
have to
gave
give it a
me,
little, you have to feed it a little bit with a little piece of information. You don't have to give it the encyclopedia. You can, and like I said, I think I said this before, when I get ideas, I put them down in my
mhm,
Asana or Notion I'm using now, a piece of a sliver of an idea, and I haven't
that's it.
formed it. I take
Right.
that sliver and I put it into, I use ChatGPT. I've been using Bing now. But one good thing about Bing, they have increased their responses from 15 to 20, because that was a big complaint that Bing only talked to you for 6 times and then it kicked you out. It was 15, now it's 20. But you put that in, and it's going to give you more ideas from that little sliver that you had.
Right. Which you can now craft a compelling message.
Yes, you
One
can
that,
take that sliver of idea,
mhm,
it fleshes it out a little bit, and you could say it's like leading you down a path. You can say, okay, I don't, take this part, I'm done this. I didn't like the whole thing, but I took a paragraph or a sentence and worked another chat and said, work with this. Show me what you can do with this. Show me what you can do with that. And then it gives me, because you got the knowledge. That's why I said it has to have the human. It doesn't do anything without our brain ideas. So this is the good thing about you recording your ideas, and it doesn't have to be fully formed or fleshed out. Oh, you know what? I got an idea about something, 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 a phrase, and you write it down for later. And then you go sit down and say, ChatGPT or whoever, I say, explain this, and it'll go and tell me, and then you go from there. So see how you work it.
It really does make it a lot easier to come up with ideas, or to expound on the ideas that we gave it.
Yes.
It
Yes,
and
it kind of leads you down. It gives you ideas that you didn't have before. And then, like Fran said, if you have an idea, you can ask it for business names. You could ask it for domain ideas. It can give you taglines. It can give you brand things. It can, design a logo, and this. It can do all of that just from your one little idea.
and we're still responsible for the final outcome. After it's
Right.
done that, you're like, oh, no, I don't like the way that tastes. Okay, then you keep
Yes,
tweaking it,
you
and we
weave it around.
we are the ones with the final outcome is still in our hands.
Yes. Yes, you are the master of it. It's not the master of us yet. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But right now we control it. And I see a lot of people asking it little silly stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. I'm using this thing for business
I
to
am.
make some revenue. Okay.
Yes. And
So that's the idea we want to use it for.
when you talk about
Um,
it for messaging and putting it out there, it makes it so much easier that I can now create my message, put it out on social media, or put it out. I created something, and I took the components, put it in
mhm.
there, asked for a email that I could send out to people.
Yes, it
Thing
does that.
it converted the compelling message after I tweaked it a little bit. People signed up for the workshop.
There you go.
I'm
So
talking about.
that's it. Getting back to the messaging. That's a good example. I'm glad you brought that up about the hook of messaging. And because I thought about this, and I was like, okay, the person I found on Facebook that said what she said, I'm like, I agreed. I put 100% agree, because people, and this is gonna happen. People are already, oh well, let me do this. Let me run away with trying to, get people to sign up. I'm the expert of da 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 da, because they had Chat GPT spit something out. But see, if they're not the real expert, it's gonna spit something out that doesn't work. It's going to
Right.
show them up. You know how the Wizard of Oz, and they go behind the curtain.
And
Don't
they
look at
pull
the
the
man
curtain
behind the
back
curtain. Did the dog Toto go back and
and
pull the
pull the
curtain?
curtain open.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm the great Wizard of Oz. So I don't, people get upset about that. About, oh, they're using the Chat GPT to create courses and get people to sign up. Well, here's the no like and trust factor. If before November, when this thing was released, because chat, it's been out for years, it just was not a commercially open thing where it was easy to use. But before this, what were we doing? Building our brand on social media. What does that
Right.
mean? We have websites, we have posts, we have podcasts. All of that stuff is online, so it's easy for somebody to go back and say, well, what were you doing before November 2022? Oh, I see. You were still talking about that for years. Or
Right.
the person that goes and says, well, I'm going to use this to, scam or make money. If you go back and see what they were doing before November 2022, you see whether they were experts or not. And see, that was the beauty of, and I said about being online and posting. It wasn't about getting likes. Oh, nobody likes my stuff. Who cares? You're there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a proof, social proof. We all got it. So now that this tool came around where everybody can be an expert at this and that and marketing and this and that and make emails to get people to sign up, if you want to go and just blindly sign up for whatever this person that puffed out of thin air, they didn't exist before November last year. Well, they did, but they were doing something else, some other scam, some other thing to get
Some
people to sign
other
up to get you money.
whatever the trend was at that time.
Whatever yeah, you can look back and that person will have done like 20 things because they're trying to get money. And I'm not mad at them. If you can get it from the person, get it from the person, because that person should have been smart enough, because they got this thing in their hand, that it was like, okay, let me Google, let me look up. If you're if you know what you're talking about and you're selling this course for whatever they're selling, that means you've been talking about it. No, I can trust. That
Right.
means you've been on social media talking about it. That means you have a website, a podcast, you were somewhere, and that footprint is online. And if they don't have that, close your wallet. Close your wallet. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and I've been saying this that before, that I've been following a couple people. When they say buying something or they have something to offer that I can afford it, I get it, because I've been following them for years.
Right. And they're not going to lead you astray
Yes.
and leave you out in the wilderness somewhere and you
Right.
don't know
Because
what's
they've been
happening.
talking about it before this. Like the lady I said that now she has a funnel program where she teaches people how to create funnels and easy, and she even built her own software. So I was following her when she was just selling MailChimp courses, how to set up your MailChimp,
Yeah.
$17. Now she's, fast forward, built a community, has people that when she offers something, she ain't gotta sell it. People like, what, here, take my money, because they already know, and they've seen the progression of her building things that they need, that audience needs.
Right.
So she got a Facebook. Let me check her Facebook group for a minute. I think she's got like 20, 30,000 people in that Facebook group. And she can drop something what she has, and people are like, I'll be there, I'll buy that. When she does in-person things, I think they go to Disney World every year, and it's like a lot of money. And she goes and they have the in-person intensive. The thing sells out. Like, it sells out. Like, and
Because
it's only a certain amount of people. But because they've seen her value
and they
before this.
resonate with her.
Yes.
They resonate with her. They feel
Right.
like she's taking care of that. She's one of them. And so, and they are with her. Hey, Fraser, all the way from Edinburgh, Scotland.
Hey, Fraser. Oh, how are you? I hope you're doing
Mhm.
well.
So,
Okay, so yeah, let's get back to this messaging and hooking thing, because I was talking about personalization and segmentation. Those things sound complicated, but it's not. It's just now about creating. We were talking about language. It's just about what's the language when you want to post something on LinkedIn versus posting on Instagram versus posting on Facebook versus posting on TikTok if you're there, because they all the platforms have a different language. So before it was like, okay, well, we're just gonna make one message and
yeah,
post it everywhere, and then was upset when it didn't get traction on LinkedIn, but it got traction on Facebook. That's because you have to write it differently. And Gary Vaynerchuk has said this, and he's done it before AI. But what I'm saying is that we can do it now easily. It's not going to be something where I sit down for hours writing a blog post. I can do that in a few seconds. And then I can take that blog post, article, whatever, tell the tool to create 10 captions for Instagram, and it will do it. Or create 5 captions for Facebook, and it will do it. And then you can say, well, I don't like that. Create different captions, and it will do it. You can do this in Canva. Canva has improved their Canva Write tools, Magic Write tools, to where I saw this yesterday, that you don't even have to go to Canva Docs. You could just start anything, Instagram post, and it's right. You can put it right into Instagram, where you tell it to write a caption for blah blah blah, and it writes it. And then you can say, "Oh, I don't like that. Rewrite it," and it rewrites it right on the Instagram post. So you don't have to start with the Canva Doc, which we looked at that, where you started with the Canva Doc, and then
mhm.
you sent it to it's a presentation and turn that into different things. Now you can just start whatever image that you want, a reel. If you want to start with a reel, there's Magic Write in there that will write the text, the caption that you need. And if you don't like it, we'll rewrite it. If you want to summarize it, you can put a bunch of stuff in there and summarize it. What I'm saying is that you can start with one piece of content. You can even, like, if you like doing podcasts and videos, you can have that the translated script. Take that, and send it to your tool and tell it to pull out quotes, pull out taglines, pull out captions, pull out 280 character captions for Twitter or 300 for Instagram. And if you don't like it, say give me a different version and it will get. So see how this all happens in seconds. So this is what I'm talking about with the hook of your messaging. You have a better platform, a better place to do all of that because it was time consuming before, or you didn't want to do it, or it was just like, oh, it just seems like a lot of work. The tool does it now. Everything. You want to know the target audience, it will give you the demographics. You want to know the psychographics, it'll give you the graphics. It'll make your persona. It'll make this and that. And then once you do all that, you can say, write me 10 captions for Instagram for this persona. And it will do it for that persona. This is what I'm talking about, the hook of messaging, because you're getting into personalization of a specific person because you are talking to one person. You're not talking to everyone. So what did I say at the beginning? Let me go back to my quote. When you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. That's from Seth Godin. So you're not speaking to everyone anymore because we're in a place where everybody has a tool that creates good content. I didn't say great. I said good. To get, okay, here, spit it out. And some people copy and paste. Smart people take it and retool it and making great content. That's us, right? We're taking it and making great content. But now we need to take it a step further because we got to get the hook. We got to hook in the audience. That means we don't want everybody. We want one person. You make the content for one or two people, and then you put that out in the world, and guess what? Analytics will tell you whether that was a hit or miss. And if it was a hit, take it back to Chat GPT and say, give me more of this. In 1 second, boom, you're off of the races. And then you can move on to the job of creating, working on business development for your business, creating new products and services.
Right.
And scaling your business.
So it's taking the marketing part of the business and making it more streamlined, more efficient with your time. You're not spending all that time that you would normally spend weeks on in your marketing.
That's why I said this tool is a game changer, a godsend for the solopreneur, the small business owner.
Right.
But you got to know how to work it. And Frazier says cancer free now, recovery after procedure. Thank God. Thank you, God, for that.
Yes. Frazier.
Mark has a comment.
Yeah, Mark got jokes. Mark said if you had entitled today's talk as Mastering the Art of Hooking, you would have increased your audience reach.
Maybe I will do that. I will use that because guess what? People go hooking and they're going to go.
They're going to be thinking about that.
Coming in. And I'm going to say, get your mind out the gutter. This is what I'm talking about. But see, that again, Mark brings up the good comments. So see, this is what I'm saying, that you could do that. I could go into ChatGPT and say, how can I,
reword
it will write things for me.
Right.
Just like Fran said that she had it write her email to get people to sign up, and it did.
I was like, okay, this is cool. I was like, oh, it thought of stuff I didn't even think of.
Because see, now you don't have to sit down at the blank canvas and say, well, what do I write to get people to sign up? You go to your tool and say, write me a caption to get people to sign up. Give me 10 call to actions. It will do it.
What is that famous, if you ever see a movie where the person is sitting at the typewriter and getting ready to write something, and it always starts as, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. And they're just sitting there and they can't get past them 2 lines.
Yes, this is what happens with writers, artists, all of this. They have to sit down at a blank canvas, a blank piece of paper, and they stare at it and stare at it and stare at it. You got a tool now where you're not staring. I don't know what to write. We hear that a lot. I don't know what to post. We hear that. No more. That excuse, poof, it's gone. You got to use this tool and give it a sliver. You don't have to give it a full meal. You can give it a little sliver of pie, your idea. It could be a few words, and tell it, and you got to know how to talk to it. Explain this phrase, explain this idea, and you don't even have to say that. You can say explain, and it will explain. But that is your entryway, your doorway into how am I going to get messaging that's going to hook my audience, because you're going to start with that, and you have that because of this, because you've got years of stuff stored in your brain,
And
and you just say, mm-hmm.
this is good, because all of those years of stuff that's stored in your brain and you can't quite figure out how to organize it, it can be organized now. You can, each part of the thing that you do, okay, give me stuff for what the buyers of the first-time buyers, what are their fears?
What are their pain points? But put all of that in there. I've done it. Put all of that in there and see what you get. Now you have to, this is I'm trying to think of the dough. You working with the dough to shape it into something. So, but that's
Right.
you. Everybody
Right.
makes bread differently. Everybody makes a pie differently. It's the same ingredients, but everybody does the cake differently, or whatever it is they're creating. So we're creating with this tool, but we have to create content that's going to hook our audience. It was harder to do before. Now it is in seconds. It will spit out what you need. I'm not saying it's going to give it to you 100% formed. We don't want that, because you got the knowledge of the industry, the niche, or whatever you're talking about, and you're going to say, and I've done that, I was like, that's not right. That one thing isn't right. That dating is right. That this isn't right. And then I go, okay, I correct it, like the teacher with the red pen, and then you rework it. Now that process, people, I got to get a blog post out, I need a day or two. You don't need that anymore. So guess what? This frees up your time. But we've got to use this in the right way. And I'm talking about personalization, segmentation. That means talking to your audience, and they're in different stages of the problem that they're in or what they need. Now you can write content to reach every one of those people in the different stages that there are. Like your persona, they may be at this stage, and then another group, they're at that stage, and you're like, well, I got to write content for everybody. Not anymore. We're writing content for where they are. You can meet them where they are
for a specific
problem. This is how we're gonna stand out, because now everybody got ChatGPT. Everybody's writing content that's good, and you're like, well, how do I stand out? This, because we got an advantage over the people that are just discovering this thing and going, well, let me create a course that for $9.97, but they don't know anything about the topic, the industry, the market. We do, because we've been in it. So you know how to message, how to create messaging that hooks that right person in, where they're just making content for everybody. Right. They're not personalization and segmentation. They're just writing stuff. Let me get everybody. So let them continue on that path. We're on the path of, okay, I'm gonna let ChatGPT write a LinkedIn post for this person, that person, that person, that person, and they do it in seconds. And all I gotta do is copy and paste and schedule. And you can even schedule it. You can sit down and do a day and say blah blah blah. I want to do this on Monday. Da, 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 da. Let ChatGPT spit it out into a table, because it can do that. And you are just, let me put this up and let me schedule it in my scheduler, and I got more free time to do whatever it is I want. Work on my business, go to the park, take the kids out, go eat, whatever it is. You got more time now. But the thing is that I want you to be aware of that everybody has the tool. So everybody's making content, and all their content looks the same. I've seen it, because they're just giving it general instructions. We're doing specialized stuff. So we're going to get specialized content that's going to hook the audience that we want.
Yes.
Where they at right now. Okay. And that sound great? That's great.
This is really good. And this is all industries. Because even with the YouTube, like you have a YouTube channel and you need to come up with a thumbnail with an enticing title for whatever the thing is that you have.
Right.
I can see, I can now go back to our YouTube, our content on our YouTube channel, and go back and write a compelling
Isn't that
thumbnail
great? Don't
title.
you love that? That YouTube allows you to go back and change your thumbnails. Because
Right. And
and why is
change.
that important? Let's explain why that's important, your thumbnail. Because that's the hook. That's what we're talking about. The hook. The eye sees the image.
Right.
Then they read the title. Those two things are the hook to get them to come and consume your content.
Right. And
Now, this was the thing before. People were like, well, what, thumbnail? Does it have to do? There's certain things that you can, that you have to put in, but you can go to ChatGPT or Magic Canva, whatever you want, and put it in there and say, create a thumbnail with this phrase, or create a thumbnail around this word, a word, an idea, whatever, and it does it. And then you refine it.
right.
Hey,
Hey,
Carlos.
Carlos.
Carlos is here.
And see, that's the thing now. You don't have to try and come up with them titles on your own, except for you taking the content that you've created and like TJ said, and just put it in there.
And see, before we had these tools, there was TubeBuddy, vidIQ, a couple others that gave you this, kind of help you with this information. They're still good tools, but now, if you've got one of the others, you can use that to say, give me an example, a good example, or give me I've starting to use perfect. I'm like, give me a perfect this, that. And so there's other things that we can do with this tool. And like I said at the beginning, we first started, there are changes every day. So now ChatGPT 4 has now plugins that's going to blow our minds. They're not ready. I mean, they're ready. They're in beta. But they are letting people like the CEO of Zapier, however you say it, he's been writing things. He's been using the plugin, and he's like, whoa, I found him on Twitter. So he's writing, he's doing things that, okay, it's going to connect ChatGPT and Zapier, or ChatGPT. I think on Friday we used the Expedia example, or no, it was a recipe, Instacart. It was Instacart. So now they're going to connect Instacart, ChatGPT. So when you go asking for a recipe, it's going to do everything for you and send it to Instacart.
So all of the ingredients are in Instacart.
Yeah, all of the recipe, you don't have to go to Instacart, the tomato and this and that. No, ChatGPT does that for you. There's other companies that are working with it, so there's going to be a whole bunch of plugins. So this thing is going to just get bigger and bigger.
Right.
Then when ChatGPT 5 comes out, I don't know what it's going to do, but it just came out with the 4, which is the version. So that tells you that there was 3 other versions before this one. That's how long this has been out in the world, but it hasn't been a consumer product until I think it was 3 or 3.5 ChatGPT. But
so this is like a I'm going to say the Apple voice responder, where it can, okay, on that particular device, it has shortcuts.
Right.
But this is shortcuts on steroids now.
Right. Right. So you see how this thing is going to be, and that's why I say it's going to be integrated in everything that we do. Just get ready. It's going to be in everything. And it's going to get to the point where we're not going to have to think too hard about crafting the perfect thing that we want. Do you remember, does everybody remember the Jetsons, right? And remember the thing that he would push through, either George or Rosie would, and the thing would spit out?
Yeah.
Just
computer.
Saying.
Oh, now here it is. Computer. Earl Grey, hot.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, did they push buttons or say something? But I remember they did, and the thing came out. I was like, woo, and you're as a kid going, woo, I want that. Well, guys, we got it.
I
We
can see
got
how this is going to be interesting
we just
because
got to learn how to talk. You got, and we said at the top, the language. You have to learn the language and the dialect.
right,
And how do you learn it? If you're going to Rome, you got to learn Italian. How do you learn it? Different
immerse yourself
programs,
in it.
Duolingo, whatever.
Yeah, or either go to the country and pretty soon you'll figure out how to get something to eat and where the bathroom is. So you
Yeah,
you
because
immerse
you'll meet
yourself.
somebody that knows English, and they'll say, "Oh," and you say, "Well, how do I go?" And they'll tell you, and then that's stored in here. And then if you got to do something else, and then you see somebody that they're Italian, but they speak English also, they'll say, "Oh, you want to say," and they tell you how to say it. Or get this, your phone will help you. I believe the Google Translate on your phone.
They all have translators now. You do
Right.
not even need some of the apps and stuff on your phone. There is a translator.
But see, here's the key to this: is that everybody's using ChatGPT, so everybody's making content. How do
Mhm.
we now the issue is how do we stand out? And I'm telling you, don't worry, because you've already stood out, because you've already existed on social media, on the web, on the internet. You're there. Your footprint is over there already. You don't have to worry about it. Because the people that go, well, wait a minute, whoa, 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 before I give you my hard-earned money, are you the person that you said you was? And Google and if you use Bing, whatever, it'll say, hey, you're already there. And then here's another thing, and I'm going to do some training on this. So you got to get in the Discord. Get in the Discord. I'm going to announce it there, that it's going to be where you can, everything that you've already done, you train AI to write and do and say things and give you information because you've already existed. It knows how to get that information. That's all I'm going to say. So get in the Discord. Follow me online, Terry Johnson online. That's what I'm gonna be putting it. And I'm gonna be like, okay, get in now, cause get in before the price goes up. That's all I can say. And it's just because this is the way the tool works. There is no one path to getting the answer you want. Some people take the long way, some people learn the shortcut, but they all get there. So you want to know the shortcut. So I'm gonna give you the shortcuts. I'm giving you shortcuts. So you're gonna be like bloop bloop bloop, and George Jetson pushing your buttons, and there's your thing, and you go about and do what you really want to do. So think about that. Just think about how that's going to free us up to grow our business, because you're going to have more time to think of ideas to grow the business. Because the thing that we're doing, creating content, we don't really need to put that much effort into it. And I think we had a last month or so, there was somebody that said that they spent hours and hours agonizing over a social media post. I was like,
Yeah, and then
no.
you walked her through on Canva, and she created a
Right.
post
That
in
was when we first
minutes.
started talking. Yeah.
And so TJ is going to teach you the language of AI. Oh, I'm like, oh my, this is a course that you need to have. She's going to teach you how to speak AI so that you can get it out and help you.
Oh, I'm building a toolbox.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, you need to get
I'm
in on
building it.
this now.
I'm building it.
Before everybody else start rushing in and taking your spot. You need to get your spot.
Right. And see,
So
the thing is, it's not like I got the only key. There's millions of keys. Everybody, I see a lot of people out there going, "Oh, I got the prompts. I got the this and I got the that." And then I look at the stuff. They're writing things, but everybody writes it differently. But all roads lead to that answer. So it's not just. Then this is what I was saying about being online already, having a brand already on social media, having an Instagram, having a whatever it is that you have. You don't even have to have all of it. If you have a website, you're good. If you've been posting on social media intermittently, you're still golden. See, because it can gather that information because you've been talking about it, because you already have the knowledge. You've demonstrated know, like, and trust. And I believe Google calls this EAT, and I forgot the acronym. Something with the E, authority and trust. So see, Google already knows that, and I'm going to talk about Google and Bard, because I'm like, They dropped the ball. I'm just really disappointed with them. But that's a part of it. So that's what I'm saying. Don't worry about, there's going to be content galore. There's going to be, because people now have the tool that will write the thing that sounds right. But is it right? Only the expert knows. And if they put this stuff out, they're going to show the emperor has no clothes.
Oh.
I'm just saying that's what's happening. So, because these are the things that I've thought about. Like, okay, if everybody has a chat tool and everybody types in and gives it a command, whatever way they do it, they're going to get an answer. And I've asked it certain things and it spits out the same thing. And I'm like, okay, people are going to run with that because they like to copy and paste, because there's certain people out there that like to do, what do I call it? The post and grab or run and grab. They like to grab your money and run. They don't care about making a community or making you a customer. They only care about getting that one sale, and they don't care how they get it. Those people, we're not those. So, because the way to do this is, and we've been doing it slow, gradual, growing. That's the way to sustainability. But people are out there going, oh, well, I'm going to do this and that, and I'm going to get 1 million likes and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, take those 1 million likes to the bank. Will you get $1 million? No. So that's what I'm saying about people, the people online are saying about reels, the reach going down. Even on TikTok, they said the reach of the views and the number of views going down, and they're sad, and they're trying to chase this thing where they're trying to get more views or dancing. I was like, all that dance and stuff, yeah, that's fun and stuff, but did that get you a sale to dance? Did it? No. It got you a view, which got you what? What did the view give you? Did the view give you $1? They've got it now to where these Reels bonus programs, or TikTok had their program where you get certain amount of money for your views. People getting pennies. People getting like $5, $10. They got to get millions of views and they get $5. So what? You could have took that million of views, all those people, and gathered them into something called a community and use that and take it and then leverage it into money. But see, that's where they're following it because it's easy. I'm gonna just be honest, it's easy.
Right.
But we can't do the easy. And as business owners, you've never done the easy. There was no easy way to start your business. You had to do it. And it was hard, and it was this and downs and ups. We hear, everybody knows that. So wasn't easy. So we're not looking for easy. They are. And let them look for easy. That road will disappear. That road will end, and they'll be at the cliff of something and whatever. So
yeah, it's not going to be.
All right, so that's a little bit about the hook of messaging and why you definitely want to embrace this tool more and more. I hope that these tools, we're talking on Tuesday, that you get this, that you embrace it, that you see what I see, the vision of where this tool can help you. So where it can help you, because yes, there is the scary part, but I want you to don't look at the scary part. I'm trusting that people are taking care of that scary part, but we got to focus on it for growing our business.
So here's something that you have been saying all the time that I've known you, is that your message has to be straight. Your story, you got to have your story straight no matter what tool you use.
Yes.
Your story needs to be straight.
Yes, it had to be that way before ChatGPT. It was like that before. It's just that the tool makes it easier now.
Right. But if your story wasn't straight before ChatGPT, ChatGPT is not going to make your story any better.
No, you're still going to get messy. It's still going to be messy. It's still going to be unclear. It's still not going to reach anybody. What are you saying? And I'm saying when Reels first came out and everybody was pointing, I'm like, okay, well, what is that getting you? You look like everybody else. And I go, bloop, bloop. I just go by because you're pointing and dancing because somebody told you to point and dance. Somebody told you, some guru. No, your messaging needs to be, what does my audience need to hear from me and how is the best way to do it? Okay, I'm going to use Reels, but I'm not going to point and dance. I'm going to do something else. The hook. and they're going to watch it. Whether you're pointing and dancing, the pointing and dancing doesn't get them to watch, and that doesn't hook them. Your messaging does what you, and that means what you have to say of value to them that they find valuable. See, that's the key. And once you get that, you're not going to worry about views because you're going to have sales.
Yes.
Oh, my views are down. Who cares? What's in your bank account? Did anybody
Wow.
click that link and buy? Okay, let me. It's my ranty thing that I just, it just gets me.
Well, and see, that's why we're here every Tuesday. TJ comes and gives of her time, her treasure, her knowledge, and we are the beneficiaries. We get to come in here in the Bizchicks community and learn little nuggets like this that you're probably not going to get. She talks to us about the little potholes that you can trip up on. She talks to us about the speed bumps, how to use it. So you need to follow her on her Discord. Get over there, follow her on the
Yeah.
Discord so you can get up to the minute.
So
Um,
follow me if you like Instagram. Follow me over there. If you like LinkedIn, follow me over there. And see, the thing is I've always liked this, looking underneath the hood and said, how does this work and how does that work? So marketing and advertising, I've been doing that for a long time. IT, that too. So I like doing this. That's why. It's not I'm sitting there going, I need to make some money. Let me no, I've been doing this before getting on Blab, before whatever, before getting on Facebook, all of that. It's like, okay, how do you do this? How do you do that? How is it workable? How does it make sense? Make it make sense for somebody who doesn't understand. So I'm
T
like, it's there. I got to make you understand it. So I'm going to try to do it in simple terms, in simple ways. And if you're not getting it, let me know because I want you to get it.
right. TJ is a trusted source. I don't know any other way to say it. You can
Thank you.
trust because she doesn't have
Thank you.
a I have a
The
deal for
agenda.
you.
Yeah. So there's gonna be people with agendas, and I'm not faulting them. And now they got a tool that allows them to make a course or do this or that to get you to pay. And I'm just saying, just be careful because that tool is available for everybody to make a house. And this is like real estate. Like you made a house. Is that house a facade? Is there something of value in there? Does it stand up when the wolf comes huff and puff? When the hurricane comes? When the this comes? When the does that natural disaster comes? Is that house gonna stand or is it gonna fall? So that's what we need to think about. All right. So these are the things that I think about. Follow me online. Follow my stories. I'm doing a lot of AI stuff there. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to check and see. I did real quick before we end. I did a little experiment. Is it still there with some flowers? So go over there and check it out. Is it still there? If not, I'll put it back up because I know it was Sunday. I was like, a lot of people might not be on Instagram, but I did something with some flowers, and I did a question. Let me see, is it still there?
I'm
I'm
gonna
trying to
yeah,
go.
let's go check it out and see what she's
But
in.
if it's not there, because 20 stories leaving 24 hours, I might have put it on my LinkedIn. So if you've got a LinkedIn, go over there. I think I put it on my YouTube. So I'm starting to like remember to put it like, okay, I gotta put it everywhere. So if it's not on stories, I'll put it there. If you're on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel. If you're on LinkedIn, go over there. And I think I put it on my Facebook. I think I put it there. So there's like an image. So and I'm asking you a question. So I just really want to know, like, the answers. Like, what do you think?
Okay, we got a
So
comment from Carlos. He says AI cooks for me, goes to the bathroom for me, and so much more. I don't even have to live anymore.
oh my goodness. Yeah, so go. It's on my. I believe it's on my Facebook page. I believe it's there. I know it's on LinkedIn. I know it's on YouTube. And I think I asked a question. Like, so I really want to see if everybody can guess.
Right.
I'm really
So
interested.
you follow TJ And you can become a part of the Bizchicks community as well. Just go to bizchicks.net or text biz to 33777 and get on our list so we can keep you informed. We don't spam, so you don't have to worry about that. You can unsubscribe anytime as well, but you want to get in on whatever's going on, and we're going to send you information that's going to benefit you to help you
Yeah.
take the hassle out of your hustle and build a profitable business that's fun to run. So we will see you tomorrow with Coach Karen
Yep.
and Terry. They will be back tomorrow. Looking forward to uh, connecting with you and seeing how all of this that we present is making a difference in your business life. So
Yes.
with that,
And let me know. I really want to know. Let me know.
right, we definitely want to know how this is working. So
Yeah.
we want to say thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.